Welcome back to where we talk to the people shaping the future of the horticulture, food, produce industries. And a special welcome to my guest today, Kirsten. Welcome, Kirsten.
Thank you very much.
For our audience, would you be so kind as to just intro yourself, your background, etc.?
I am Kirsten Catella. I'm Sales and Marketing Director at Wyvale Nurseries. I'm also a barley board director. I'm 26 years in for my sins to horticulture in the UK. And I've been told on many occasions that if you cut me in half, I will bleed green leaves.
See, something I'm sure we can touch on. Your career has been across leadership roles, development roles within horticulture. Was leadership always something you thought you'd naturally be drawn into?
No, not at all, to be fair. I always felt I needed to do things better than how I was being managed or being led, and that I promised myself that if ever I did find myself in a position of influence or leadership, I would ensure it was in a way that was a positive impact on those around me.
Led from the good, the bad, the indifferent to evolve your own style?
Essentially, yes. The very bad, I'll add, and also the very good. I mean, not to say I'm perfect and done it right along the way. I've done my own uglies.
That's how we learn.
I've always wanted to ensure that I was positively impactful on people because I've experienced so many bad ways of being managed and things that I just don't like at all, that I would leave things in a better way and show people how to be better.
Has there been a career change or a career decision that's changed the trajectory of your career at all?
It hasn't necessarily been a defining moment. Okay. It's been open to saying yes to a lot of things before I was ready, believing that I was more than the pigeonhole I was being put into.
Yeah.
So the big major steps in my career have never been defining moments where it's ticked every single box to the next level. It's just been willing to make a risk on myself and keep going forward.
We've spoken offline and at dinners a lot about leadership and inspiring people. What characteristics, what behaviours do you think separate great leaders from average leaders?
Great leaders from average leaders. Not playing the blame game. Strong leaders don't play the blame game. When things go wrong, they don't say it was my boss's fault or it was the team's fault or it was an external reason. They look at situation and go, how can I put a positive influence on that? How can I take this forward? And that, for me, really does resonate the difference between an average leader and a great leader. They don't necessarily have all the answers, but they know how to get the answers from the people around them and empower people around them to stand up for themselves and do their own roles.
Interesting. It's not even a case of just wearing the blame either.
Absolutely not.
It's just about the learnings from it.
It is, yeah. I mean, we all make mistakes and you own those mistakes. Like you raise your hand, but you don't fall on your own sword and go, I'm useless, I've made a mistake, which some people do.
Some people do, yeah.
People fall on their sword to do that, but it's like going, I've made a mistake, but you go forward. If you make no decisions, you're not taking action, you're not ever moving forward. So to make a forward movement and it's the wrong one, at least you're still moving and you're learning.
Yeah, very much so. I think we said before, fail almost stands for first attempt in learning.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't make mistakes, you can't grow. And it's as a parent, as a leader of people, you always have to encourage the failings as long as there is learning along the way. Mistakes can be made as long as lessons are learned. Do you think leadership today requires different skills than it did 10 years ago?
10, 15 years ago, leadership wasn't such a word, such an influence in your career. It was management. And management is KPIs, being told what to do and go away and do it. And if you make a mistake, fix it. Leadership today is definitely about empowering those around you to feel safe and confident that if they make a mistake, you're there to support them. And that if they have an idea, run with it and support them with that. And I do that with my team all the time. They will come to me with an issue and I'll go, well, how do you think is best to resolve that? And I'm going, all right, let's give it a go. And like you were just saying, you know, if you think it's going to go wrong, you can say, well, that's one way to do it, but have you thought maybe this way could be tried as well? And try to steer them from a fail. Or if they're adamant on their way, just be there to catch them.
That's an interesting way of looking at it, because do you think then it's more of an involvement piece and a collaborative piece? Because I think back to one of my first ever jobs, I'm going back 20 plus years, but if the MD even knew my name, and it wasn't a huge business, I felt a bit Wow. As we're talking now about having almost the confidence to ask an MD or a director for that support. Is it a case of just feeling more on a level?
Everybody gets treated the same way, whether you're an MD, a CEO, a trainee, a technical consultant like I've been. Everybody gets treated the same way. It's just a level of respect. It's the way you communicate with people, which goes straight back to the first bit I was saying about leadership. And it's just standing up and being honest. Be your true self. And that gets used a lot. All these buzzwords, and people get tired of hearing them. Be your true self, be authentic. But there's a lot in that.
I think you may not tell me off for this question, but you may re-articulate it. But when we talk about being 1% better, what does 1% better look like in reality for you?
So I wouldn't frame being better as a way of thinking of myself or how I'd like my team to think of themselves as by going that extra degree, going that one step extra. Going that one step extra means asking that extra question. Doesn't mean work later, work harder at all. It just means show up, be there, try it, give it a go, answer a question even if it's wrong, ask the question even if you think it's a dumb one. There are dumb questions. There are absolutely dumb questions, but feel free to ask them. And that's the environment I like to raise in. So those people or thinking what it takes to be 1 degree better, it's recognizing, don't overstate who you are, but recognize that you can underestimate what you can learn in 10 years, but don't overestimate what you can do in 10 days. Not to be poignant or go, oh, that's really thoughtful. But there's a lot of message in there, because when you stop and you reflect on 10 years and you go, actually, all those incremental 1% compound into quite a big change. Those 1 extra steps, those 1 extra degrees, they make a big change over 10 years. But don't go with a big head and go, yeah, I can sort that out in 10 days or 10 weeks. Don't overestimate. And don't underestimate what you've learned either.
Yeah, it's about getting to the future faster, if you can. But I don't think you could get to the future faster if you didn't make the mistakes. And so we had this conversation the other day internally. It's like the objective isn't to climb Mount Everest, it's to get back down.
Climbing Everest is half of the journey.
Yeah. You're only halfway there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think separates people who continue to grow to those that kind of plateau?
People who continue to grow are knowledge hungry.
Okay.
They're always looking to learn. They're
Curious.
always looking curious. Thank you. Far more eloquent than me. They remain curious. They're always looking up to see how they can get involved in other things, learn new things. People who plateau kind of go, I already know everything, and they become protective of what they know. And they will fight that corner and they will stay there. And that's fine, because you need people who plateau and just do,
Of course.
do that. And you need the people that, what's that phrase? Shoot for the moon and you'll hit some stars on the way.
Yeah.
It's quite cute.
I think it's having that first, isn't it? It's that thirst for knowledge, for experience, for exposure.
Totally.
You've got to have the exposure to different parts of the business. It's not a straight road. It is difficult. And like I said before, if you don't fall over, how are you going to lead people when they do? What part of success or leadership do you think people don't see?
The tears of frustration.
Okay.
The pep talk you're giving yourself driving into the office on what you know is going to be a tough day, and you realize the pep talk you're giving yourself is the same one you've delivered dozens of times to teams over the years.
Yeah.
People don't see that. The presentation you need to give, you're on your 20th version before you even have to present it, and then when you do present it, you're thinking about it afterwards, how you could have done it better or differently, and then you realize nobody knew how you'd planned it anyway, so they were none the wiser. Yeah. People don't see that. They don't see you fall over, the tears of frustration, the longer hours. They're very quick to see you're on a board. They're very quick to see the presentation you presented. But that's what you want people to see. That fear, the fear never goes away. You just learn to do things despite the fear.
I think some of it is the difference between discipline and motivation.
Yeah.
You'll often hear people say, it's all right for you, you're motivated to do X, whether it be go to the gym or save money. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I want the thing more than I don't want to do this. And I think that sums up leadership at times when it's easy to chuck the towel in, or not so much chuck the towel in, but position yourself as the victim and be victimized a bit. But that option isn't there. Or if you're juggling various different things with the children, people go, I don't know how you do it. there's not another option.
Yeah,
I've looked into it. There's not
gotta
another
do it.
option.
Yeah, we
You
do
have to get
hear
on
a
going.
lot on the ground. People go, "It's all right for you. You're the director." I'm like, that just means I have to show up twice as hard. Not to drag women into it as well, but women in the workplace has changed over the years from when I started 26 years ago. Very different picture to now. And because I was a foreign female educated in the country, I had to show up 3 times as hard. It's 6 hours of prep before a board meeting, and then it's 3 hours of follow-ups afterwards to see what you need to do post-board meeting and stuff. People don't see that bit, but when you show up to your team who have put time aside to be there for you, you need to be prepared. They're giving you your time. Their time is valuable.
Do you think the industry has improved in creating opportunities for women in leadership roles?
Oh, yes, definitely. I smile when I look into the industry and I look at all the women in the industry now and what they're doing, and there's quite a powerful bunch. And, for many years, there's been young people in horticulture, and they've got 800 members now, I think.
Yeah.
And there's now women in horticulture, and we have 300 women there.
Whee.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah.
And we're on boards. I still remain the only woman on the barley board.
At the minute.
At the minute. And the board at Wyvale, I was the only female there. Now we've got another one. But absolutely more accountability of women in horticulture, women in good positions, not just secretarial roles. And somebody referred to that the other day, and I had to stamp my feet a little bit in a temper tantrum. Women don't belong behind the keyboard. But there is more opportunity, and it is proven that women exact longer change, meaningful change in organizations than band-aided. That when you have women communicating and women in central roles, that actually it does create long-term change in businesses which are sustained.
How do we take it to the next level?
Keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah,
Just keep doing. We're on the right
repeating it.
track. We've just got to keep going.
Keep
We've got to keep shouting about it. We've got to keep showing up.
At this point in your journey, what really motivates you now?
My personal mantra is to leave things in a better place than I found them.
Okay.
So what motivates me now, 25 years ago, I used to manage my own career, my own time, my own results. Now I am in charge of charging people with being able to do that for themselves.
Okay.
So legacy would be the wrong word to use, but leaving lasting change after I've left the room.
Wow.
It's about leaving things in that better state once I've moved on or gone.
And final question then, which is very closely linked. What advice would you give to ambitious people wanting to progress into leadership roles?
You don't need to be a manager or a director to lead. You need to look at how you can do things better than they're currently being done. And that doesn't mean a better process or a better source for something you're buying. It means being better at people management, better way of talking and communicating to people. So leadership comes from the heart. It's standing up and committing consistently to being better. Always be conscious of how you're making people feel. Your brand, who you are, isn't what you post on LinkedIn. It's what people are saying about you when you're not in the room. And it's how you've made people feel when you've been engaging with them. When somebody said to me, who I met 17 years ago, and they remembered a conversation, and they said, I remembered what you said. And I take that with me every week into what I do. And I'm like, wow. And that's so important.
That's massive, and I bet that's such a great feeling when you hear that, going back to your mantra. But again, how important do you think is confidence and self-image in career progression?
You can put up that front that I'm confident and I'm all these things, but we're just as confident as the next person is inconfident. It's just about being able to manage that fear and just keep doing it anyway.
Kirsten, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.